On September 9, 2025, Israeli warplanes launched a sudden and devastating bombing campaign on Doha, the capital of Qatar, in a shocking escalation of Middle East tensions that reverberated across the globe. The world watched in disbelief as the city's skyline was lit up by explosions, marking a turning point in the ongoing conflict. The strike specifically targeted the Hamas negotiating team, who were in Doha under the protection of the Qatari government, disrupting sensitive ceasefire talks that had offered a glimmer of hope for peace. The attack left government buildings damaged and emergency services scrambling to respond. Israel's move marked a dramatic and unprecedented shift, striking not only at Hamas, but at the heart of the diplomatic process itself. By targeting a neutral ground, Israel signaled a willingness to strike anywhere, regardless of international norms or the sanctity of diplomatic negotiations. The attack directly challenged Qatar's long-standing role as a mediator in the region and risked igniting a much broader regional conflict, especially given the presence of a major U.S. military base in Doha. The world's attention turned to the Gulf, fearing the consequences of further escalation. This unprecedented action shattered assumptions about the limits of Israeli military reach, leaving civilians in shock and uncertainty. It set the stage for a dangerous new era in the region, where the boundaries of conflict and diplomacy have been dramatically redrawn. The bombing killed 6 people, among them the son of a prominent Hamas official, sending shockwaves through the local community and igniting widespread grief. The attack left behind scenes of devastation, with families mourning their loved ones and emergency responders working tirelessly amid the rubble. Despite the severity of the strike, it failed to eliminate the group's leadership, who quickly regrouped and condemned the violence, vowing to continue their struggle. The resilience of Hamas leaders only fueled further tensions in the region. Qatar swiftly condemned the attack, calling it a blatant violation of its sovereignty and an affront to international law. In response, Qatari officials demanded an emergency Arab-Islamic summit, seeking to rally regional and international support against Israel's actions and to address the growing instability. The United States, Israel's closest ally, publicly denounced the bombing, emphasizing the need for restraint. However, controversy erupted when reports surfaced suggesting that Washington may have had prior knowledge of the strike, casting a shadow over official statements. Both the US and Qatar firmly denied any advance warning, but persistent speculation in the media and diplomatic circles strained trust between the nations, complicating already delicate diplomatic efforts and fueling suspicion on all sides. The incident left Qatar questioning the reliability of its security guarantees, while also exposing deep rifts and disagreements within the US-Israel alliance, as officials struggled to present a united front. International condemnation mounted rapidly, with protests erupting in several countries and calls for accountability growing louder. Yet, the conflicting narratives and lack of transparency only deepened the crisis, making resolution seem increasingly elusive. The fallout from the bombing made a coordinated response nearly impossible, further destabilizing the region and leaving many to wonder what the future holds for peace and security in the Middle East. For years, Qatar relied on its partnership with the US and the presence of Al Udeid Air Base as a security guarantee. The Israeli strike shattered this confidence, revealing the limits of American protection, especially against US allies. Qatar's leadership bluntly warned US officials, if America can't protect Qatar, it will seek new security partners, possibly turning to China or Russia. This potential pivot threatens to upend decades of US dominance in the Gulf, and signals a possible realignment of regional alliances. Israel's attack, meant to weaken Hamas, may have triggered a seismic shift in Middle Eastern geopolitics. The bombing devastated Qatar's image as a neutral diplomatic hub, undermining its long-cultivated role as a trusted mediator in regional conflicts. Once seen as a safe haven for delicate negotiations, Doha now faces skepticism from international actors who once relied on its stability. The shockwaves from the attack rippled through diplomatic circles, raising urgent questions about the future of peace talks in the Gulf. Israel's strike on a peace delegation not only shattered trust in Doha's ability to guarantee safety for negotiators, but also sent a chilling message to diplomats across the region. The incident severely damaged Qatar's diplomatic credibility, making it harder for the country to host or mediate future negotiations. Paradoxically, the attack sparked rare unity among Gulf states, with Saudi and Emirati leaders expressing public solidarity with Qatar. This show of support was unprecedented, signaling a shift in regional dynamics and a willingness to set aside old rivalries in the face of a shared threat. This newfound Gulf cohesion is driven by a sense of shared vulnerability. If Doha can be targeted, so can any Gulf capital. Security has been tightened across the region, and leaders are rethinking their alliances and strategies to protect their own interests. Meanwhile, the Abraham Accords are fraying, as Arab states distance themselves from Israel in response to its aggressive actions. Protests have erupted outside embassies, and diplomatic channels are growing colder, threatening years of careful rapprochement. The attack has pushed the region closer to a breaking point, with old alliances under strain and new ones emerging. As leaders scramble to adapt, the balance of power in the Middle East is shifting in unpredictable ways. Qatar's diplomatic setback may ultimately be the catalyst for a broader regional realignment, forcing countries to reconsider their roles and relationships in a rapidly changing landscape. Israel's ultimatum to Qatar, expel or prosecute Hamas or face further attacks, marks a new aggressive posture in the Gulf. Gulf states now face impossible choices: appease Israel, risk public backlash, or question U.S. protection. The attack exposed the fragility of the Gulf's security architecture and heightened fears of wider conflict. Qatar's role as a mediator is crippled, and the region is more polarized than ever. The Abraham Accords are under strain, and Gulf leaders are rethinking alliances as instability grows. The bombing of Doha signals a dangerous new era, one defined by confrontation, shifting alliances, and the looming threat of war.